Shut up and sit down.
My name is Dee Dee, and welcome to my show. I'm here chilling with Tim. Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Dee Dee, and I'm going to show you some of my music.
And we might even look at some of your art.
Yeah.
I'll probably pull that up online because you have some cool stuff. You sold some really cool art.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. People
love it.
You've got a very unique style. Everything is very unique about you.
Yeah.
And
people are like, is this all from you? Yeah, it's all yours.
Totally. And I think everybody's going to be very impressed that we have somebody here in the Valley who is
so different.
A jack of all
trades.
More like an
art of trades.
An art, yeah. A jack is more like, I guess you'd say that's more like a dude thing, right? Jack is like a dude's name.
A queen.
You're a queen.
Yeah.
Of all trades.
Of all trades.
And all spades.
Yes.
You're a full house.
I am.
No, that's not a full house. That's a flush.
I'm a flush.
You're a flush. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into Channel 99. We appreciate you. We do have Dee Dee Chavez on the line. She is a multi-talented artist with music, and you do painting, and do you draw? What other stuff do you do?
Oh, I draw, I do modeling. And
you model?
Yeah.
I model.
Yeah.
I don't tell people.
Yeah.
Do you do freelance work?
Yeah.
Or are you signed?
I do like collaborative stuff. Like I'll work with photographers, if they, need somebody or something, or if I...
For portfolio work?
Portfolio stuff, yeah.
Sure.
Creative stuff. If I see somebody that does something cool and different that I want to try, then I'm like, hey.
Right.
You want to collaborate?
So are you like a hot rod babe? Are you like the girl who sits on the hot rods at the hot rod shows and looking all classy?
Not necessarily. I'm the girl with the guitar outside with trees and flowers. Yeah.
That's cool.
Paintbrush in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the live art shows with musicians in the background. Like Sunsmith did a really cool show. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a local reggae, like hip-hop band.
I think I saw them.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
I
Brett
think it was
Thorpe.
Hyde Park.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are incredibly talented. And at one of their shows, I was taking photos, and they had a live artist who was taking. They were painting as the show was going on, and so they were painting like according to how they felt. I don't know how that works. I've never done that.
That's awesome.
I'm artistic in like a digital sense. I don't have like a canvas that I will sit down and
take the time.
I don't understand. I don't even know what paints are. I don't know the difference between I don't even know what kind of paints there are. Watercolors.
What colors should I use? Yeah.
Well, even like the types, right? Like you've got your the acrylic, your oil, and they all produce a different quality or like depth of color. I really don't understand that.
Yeah, they all dry different,
They mix
texture,
different, probably.
Yeah.
Can you mix different types of paint?
Mixed media.
So like acrylic with oil?
Yes.
Whoa.
As far as like mixing it together, yeah, you could to get like a certain color, probably. But if you're going to do like a mixed media type of art or something, like you can start with like the oil and then add acrylic into it after, type thing. That's what I would do as far as like putting it together, like mixing it.
Add acrylic to it. So you mix your oils together and then you add the acrylic afterward?
Yeah, you would like mix the oils together and paint with that paint.
And then you apply like an acrylic coating essentially after that?
Yeah.
And what would that do?
it dries a lot faster for one, and oil paint is thicker, so there's going to be more texture with it.
Right.
But yeah, I've done some mixed media stuff with oil and acrylic, and it was awesome.
How did you get into art?
Well, I got into art. I'd been drawing and doodling and stuff and doing like watercolors like since I was a kid. And I stopped for a little bit. I've always like been drawn to it because it's like comfort to me. So if I'm like going through something, you know, or I'm feeling a certain emotion, then
Therapy.
Yeah, it's always been very therapeutic. And a few years ago, I had missed painting and doing art. I had taken a break and was focusing more on other things like family and stuff. And I would like write down notes, like I write notes to myself, and I would place it in places where I would see it. And it was notes that were like, you should paint, you know, you should do art, you should do this, you know, just like reminders. And then finally one day I was like, you know, I'm just going to start diving into this now. I had like $50 to my name to spare on like whatever I wanted for me. And so I took that $50 and I went to the store and I got a pack of canvases. And this is when I started going full on, like bought some paint, bought an easel, and went to my house and started painting. And now I have like hundreds, and I never stopped. So yeah.
I thought about doing that.
Yeah.
Because I am artistic, but my problem is I don't have a lot of the time that it would take to probably do what I do. But I have done a lot of different types of art, and again, I do it more digital. So I have like a tablet for my computer, and I've done a lot of logos, everything like on this background that you see right here. This is all hand drawn. So I hand drew like me and my former podcast, like Beavis and Butthead, Tim and Conrad. You know, I did all this by hand. This I did not do, and this is something I stole. But for the most part, there's a couple others, a couple other things that I've done for, you know, the channel and for other businesses that I've done. But I'm very artistic, and I like to hear how people get into things and why people get into things, because it is very therapeutic. And
it's helped me through so much.
It's an expression.
Yeah.
You're able to have an outlet for whatever it is that is stressing you out in the real world. You can completely express that through whatever medium you want, whether it's digital or, you know, painting, drawing, pastel.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a beautiful feeling, like, and it's kind of like a nerve-wracking feeling in a way, because you're like, oh, I wonder what people are going to think of me, and you're like, well, this is me, and I don't care. Like, you just put it out there. It's being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Especially when you put it on like social media and stuff. So that was kind of a learning curve for me, is like, I want to show who I am, and I want to do this stuff, and how much of myself do I want to show people, you know, or what are people going to think? And people loved it. People love art, you know, they love people expressing themselves and seeing something new.
Yeah.
So,
well, and for me, it's important to make yourself feel uncomfortable, because that means that you're growing.
Yes.
You know, you're putting yourself in a position where you've never been, and by expressing yourself through your art, whether it is on a canvas or with a guitar or whatever instrument you might have, and I would consider a paintbrush an instrument, you know, or a pencil or whatever it might be. When you put yourself in a vulnerable position, like you're saying, you find out so much more about yourself, and it doesn't really matter what other people think, because that is what you're feeling at that time. And it's important, because that in itself is poetry, just in a different form. You know, some people write raps, you know, and you rap, and we'll get to that stuff too.
Yes, we will.
But some people write in a journal, other people paint, other people they express themselves through music. I do it through my photography, and my podcasting, and this is my art. And so I think it's important for people to understand that regardless of the medium in which you convey whatever emotions or feelings that you have at that time, it's important to make yourself feel vulnerable, because you're only going to grow from it. You're not going to suppress yourself, because when you suppress those things, you're not going to grow. You're not going to improve yourself.
If you're afraid of doing something, if you don't do it, you'll never know. So it's better just to do it and like push yourself. And you can never like expect anybody else like to do anything for you or push you. Like, you have to push yourself. Mm-hmm. And
especially in that realm.
Yeah, especially to grow.
Yeah, artistically.
Yeah, somebody's not going to say, "Hey, go grow,"
Right.
You're going to be like, "Well, how do I do that?"
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have to want to do that.
Yeah, like a reverse psychology. Mm-hmm. And I found this out that
you kind of have to psych yourself out.
You do. And a lot of people who are right brained. So I'm very middle brained. I'm extremely analytical. For a living, I work in numbers and Excel, and I'm very analytically driven, and I love it. Awesome. Because it allows me to utilize the right side of my brain to become creative with what it is that I'm looking at numerically. And I'm able to bridge those two, but after I get off work, or after I'm done with my day, I'm able to express myself through the things that I like to do, my hobbies and the crafts that I enjoy. Unfortunately, I'm not as amazing at playing an instrument as the majority of people who I host on my show.
Yeah.
But that's why I have people like you, because
and why not if you want to, or if you're doing something that makes you happy, that you're passionate about, why not express that and show that to the world? If people are like I'm sure there's a lot of people that are perfectly fine doing their passion without a camera there, without putting it out there, but people can get inspired by you without you.
Totally. Art is very objective, and people will look at, multiple people will look at a piece of art, like a painting, or they'll listen to a song, and some people will either like it or they won't. But at the end of the day, the person who created that piece of work, it's admirable. Yeah, it's admirable that they were able to be vulnerable and put themselves in a position to be critiqued. Because not everybody is going to like what you do. Not everybody's going to appreciate what you do, let alone the time or the effort that you put into what it is that they're looking at or listening to. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of guts. I know so many people who they're very talented individuals, but they don't push themselves, and they don't allow themselves to become uncomfortable, and that's what's gonna get you to the next level, in my opinion. That's how you learn more about yourself.
It's kind of like
critique is great.
Yeah, it is. Constructive criticism is the best thing. Tell me the truth. Tell me really how you feel or what you think.
And if you're an artist, if you agree with it, then you'll take that into consideration, and you'll build on that.
Yeah, to build and to grow.
But sometimes some people they don't get it, and they don't get your style. And it's a lot of times you just have to be like, all right, I get that. Yeah, I get that. You don't like it, but unfortunately, this is my style. And I do what I do, and I love it.
And you have to hold to that, that self-confidence of who you are.
Create your own brand. Yeah. You have to be your own brand. You can't, you do not want to assimilate with the general majority. You know, that's the general majority, whatever. You don't want to assimilate with the majority, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think especially nowadays, the indie of anything, you're talking craft
Indie
brewery.
is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
In general, that word is amazing.
Yeah, independent. Anybody who just does what they do and they love what they do, those are the people who inspire others to
And that's what it's about.
continue what they love to do. And that's why you're on the show, because you do a lot of
Exactly.
really cool shit. And I found out so much about you even before the show.
Yeah, what do you know about me?
No, well, barely anything. But I found out that that you rap, and I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But as far as like, all right, let's transgress, right? Let's go back to art,
Okay.
real quick. So you've sold some pieces, and what is your favorite medium to? Because you paint, right?
Yeah.
So what is your favorite medium to work with?
My favorite medium, I like acrylic because you can just do a lot with it, and it is very like bright and affordable in a way. Like acrylic is like very much like cheaper than oil, but I mean it's not about that. But I would say like I like to paint on canvas, and I like acrylic a lot. I was really feeling oil for a while. I like went through this phase where I was trying like every different kind of paint medium that I could possibly work with. And I've just mostly stuck with acrylic because, you know, I just like it. It dries good. It does good blending, and yeah.
It's more vibrant.
Yeah, more vibrant.
So who are some of your favorite artists?
Oh.
Inspirations?
I
That's
would
a tough
have
question, by the way.
Salvador Dali.
I love Salvador Dali. I gave a full lesson on Salvador Dali in Spanish in college.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
that's awesome.
Hardcore Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely speaking Espanol for like 2 hours, like telling
Cool.
this like class
Wow.
about Salvador Dali. And it was because I
Amazing.
was intrigued by his adaptation and the work he's done, or he did do, with Disney.
Yeah.
And he worked a lot with Disney, and there were a couple projects that him and Walt worked on together that could have been incredible, that were never published, but you can still find them online.
Everything like he's done is incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The,
Just
dude,
the feeling and like everything going on in that time, and
and his mustache.
yeah, his vision and his mustache is
And
pretty
his
awesome.
mustache is
Yes,
badass.
his mustache is very, very cool.
I love Salvador Dali. When did he die? Was it the 70s?
I think so. Yeah, I'm thinking like 70, it's late 70s.
Yeah.
76.
And he was part of the what movement was it? It was the I forget.
Are we going into like art history right now?
Art history right now. I just
He
really
was like surrealism.
He was surrealism. Yes, there you go. That was the word I was looking for. I was like, I know it starts with an S. But yeah, he was a surrealist, and some people who don't know who Salvador Dali is, the most famous painting is The Melting Clock.
Yeah,
You know,
I love it.
and that definitely was one of the coolest paintings he did. But there is just that guy.
I love his work, like
Oh my
the
God.
persistence of memory,
I don't even know.
or
I
the
can Google it real quick.
the destruction of memory. I think it's like the destruction or the distillation.
Dali.
Something.
Dhali, right?
Yes.
Memory. Let's look this dude up. Yeah, that's The Melting Clock. That one. The persistence of memory.
The persistence of memory. Yes.
I should get some Dali stuff for my house. I've got too
love
much
his stuff.
progressive.
I need to get a Dolly tattoo. Of
You
some
should.
sort.
You need to find an artist who can
really
actually
good.
portray that. Yeah.
Surreal.
A surrealist. Yeah. Best Dolly. Yeah, that's best Dolly art.
Tattoo art.
Or tattoo art. Let's look up their tattoo real quick.
I'm all thinking of tattoos right now.
God, his mustache is so cool.
You know what? I should get like a mustache like right here so I can have like a Dolly mustache. Like that.
You should. Just get a tattoo of a mustache.
Yeah.
Just do it. And then when you
Dolly
say
mustache.
A Dolly mustache, so
Yeah.
it's got a little twist on it. That is not Salvador Dali. Get the fuck out of here.
None of that is.
None of this is Dali. Salvador. Best Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali. All right.
So yeah.
Whoa, that one's cool. That is definitely
Whoa.
Dolly.
Yeah.
That is badass.
I really love his elephants too.
Let's let everybody watch this. I'm gonna turn on Firefox real quick while we.
Yeah. Let's just admire some Salvador Dali art.
I don't know why this is not.
But yeah, I love Salvador Dali. I love oh my gosh. Vincent van Gogh, of course. I have like an Idaho painting with Vincent van Gogh like inspired like art with it. Like the yeah, you'd have to see it.
What is it?
I sold it. But
You sold your art?
Yeah.
Which one was
It
this?
it was a Vincent van Gogh inspired Starry Night, Idaho.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's way cool. I've been thinking about. Is not arty news. Come on, Firefox.
Let's see who else is really freaking awesome artists back in the day.
And what did Dolly paint with, by the way? Do you know?
Oil.
It was oil painting.
Yeah.
That's probably why his shit was so expensive. Yeah. Who's another artist that you really like?
Pop art. A pop art artist. Famous.
Yeah. Ooh, pop art. What's his face? He did the Marilyn Monroe photo. What's his name? I don't know.
Why can't we think of that? The Campbell's soup.
He did the Campbell soup stuff. Yeah. I was an.
Why can't I think of him right now?
So everybody, for some reason,
I'm
Firefox
sorry,
does
guys.
not want to work with me right now. Who? Hold on. We'll find it real quick. Pop artists. He was in a couple of movies too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, they like made fun of this dude. Pop art artists. Oh, Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Duh.
couldn't I think about that? Oh yeah, and
Andy
Paolosi,
Warhol.
or the Italian dude or whatever his name is, he had some cool shit too.
Oh yeah.
And then these other names I don't. Oh no, Yaya Kusama, this Japanese chick, she's got cool shit.
Yeah.
She's got really cool. Look at her art. Look at her clothing. She does really crazy
I
clothing.
love like clothing.
But she does a
clothing
lot of
styles.
really weird, colorful.
She does pointillism.
Yeah, she does super like Japanese style colors.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes, it really poppy. I want to say she might have died recently, but she might still be alive. I just watched a documentary on this girl.
I actually have art that's similar to that.
You do?
Pointillism, yeah.
Let me I gotta.
You should pull up my Instagram or something.
I know, but I need to pull it up so that people can actually watch it. And for some reason, this is not letting me connect to.
I should play a song.
You should play a song.
Should I play my single
Do it.
of the summer
What's
of
the
the
name
year?
of this? Yeah, what's the name of it?
It's called Make Me Feel. Make Me
Alright.
Feel.
Make you feel it, girl.
All right. It's on SoundCloud. Dee Dee Chavez, Make Me Feel. You can find it on SoundCloud. You make me feel so real. I don't know what else to do. Trying not to get lost inside of you. make me a better person, that I know for certain. On those hard days when my knees are weak and I cannot speak, got you to keep my sunshine, always brightening my day. Living life with you, wouldn't live it any other way. So humble and sweet, everything that I need. Follow you into the deep, you I wanna keep. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. You make me a better person, that I know for certain. On those hard days when my knees are weak and I cannot speak, got you to keep my sunshine, always brightening my day. Living life with you, wouldn't live it any other way. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. Feel so happy, beautiful and free. I don't think there is anyone happier than me. With all love and desire we share, look into my eyes, that endless stare can be everything. Feel the in-between like an endless dream. So humble and sweet, everything that I need. Follow you into the deep, you I wanna keep. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. So humble and sweet, everything that I need. Follow you into the deep, you I wanna keep. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. Care to taste salt to my shore, going to the further and more? Or do you wish to soar away? Maybe you're not here to stay. I know when love is new, appearing too good to be true. Give me some more glow, that I know for show. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. So humble and sweet, everything that I need. Follow you into the deep, you I wanna keep. You make me feel so real, I don't know what else to do, trying not to get lost inside of you. You make me feel so real. Yay.
That's sick. Yeah, totally. You
Okay,
have a
so-
pick bag.
Yeah, I have a pick bag, so I never lose a pick. And
You're good.
you gave me this pick right here.
I did. My brother made that
His
pick.
brother made this awesome. It's going right in here.
That's so fancy.
Yeah,
That's crazy. It's like a coin purse, but a pick purse?
it
that what you
is.
call
It's
it?
like a
pick
pick purse. And
Where do you get something like that? Like Amazon or something?
probably, yeah. You know,
Was that gifted to you? Is
it
that what you
was
said?
gifted to me
Yeah, that's impressive.
from Louisiana.
That's really impressive.
And so, I mean, obviously, I'm going to do my best to never lose my car keys, and I have my pick holder on here too. So
Yeah. Do you lose your keys a lot?
no, I don't, because I have this lanyard. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of tough to lose that. Do you have a dog though that like takes your keys or anything like that? My dog takes my keys.
I have a cat.
And she plays piano for him.
Yeah.
My dog's so weird.
But I love this because I always leave it hanging out of my purse just a little bit like this.
Uh-huh.
So I always know my keys are there.
Good call.
Yeah. Because I have lost my keys before. In a pile of laundry.
I've lost my keys many times. I've always thought maybe I'll go snag one of those. They have like those Bluetooth things that you can put on your keychain and it'll like ring an alarm, or it'll give you maybe like a like a geolocator kind of a thing. Maybe not a geolocator, but like it'll it'll have an alarm on it. Kind of like my watch.
On your keys?
Yeah. So like for my watch, like if I can't find my phone and I'm still connected within so many feet, I can like hit my watch and I have an app that's like find my phone, and I just click on it and my phone starts ringing. Yeah. It's the same thing for like your keys.
Oh,
in
so
your
it's
house.
a thing that you put on your keys.
Yeah, you just put a little tiny thing on your keychain and it'll start. It has like some type of an alarm and it'll let you know where your keys are at. Yeah. Because I leave my keys in like jeans or jackets, and I come home and I forget, and my dog chews up all my other spare keys.
Oh, he ain't going nowhere.
My dog has destroyed some very expensive key fobs. All of my expensive key fobs. She thinks there's little chew toys. But that song was sick, by the way.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, you totally killed it. I know you were talking about playing another song, and you got other songs that you're going to play. So everybody who is still listening in, which is everybody, because this is a badass podcast.
Yeah.
She will be doing an unplugged session with some songs that I will be working on and producing separately. So what's the second song that you wanted to play for us, though?
It's called On My Way.
It's an original.
It's original, yes.
On My Way.
It's got a little story to it. So.
Do tell. Or is it the story itself?
It is the story.
Okay, cool. I thought you were going to tell us the story.
Maybe I'll tell you the story after, but I'll give you this, this first.
Do it.
To the show, and I walk through the door, and you look at me with the light in your eyes. Two lost souls and a broken heart, hiding from the dark, hiding from the dark. Play me a song and I walk to the bar, and I order a drink so I don't have to think. Like a sauna, feel of nirvana, you and me like aromatherapy. Pull me down near gravity, kissing me so magically. My ecstasy is bringing out the best in me, always testing me. For me, there is no other.
Yeah, that was basic.
Yay!
So tell me the story about that song.
So that song is about obviously going to a show, and you know the person playing on stage, and you kind of like have a thing, but it's kind of like you want what you can't have type thing.
Like a roadie kind of vibe, or what?
I would say like
Because it kind of sounds like
kind
a
of
roadie
like,
thing.
you know, like a fan, pretty much a fan of a band, right? And you know the person, and you're not both in the same spot, ready for more in a way. So you kind of like,
So you know the band?
yeah, it's kind of like, you know, knowing somebody and knowing that they care for you, and not being able to care for them in a way that you want, because they're like not at that level. Like, they want to be, but they're not. Like, you know, so emotionally, like,
And you're
they're
talking about
emotionally
the
not
artists
ready.
themselves.
Yeah, the artists themselves is not. They're both not emotionally ready, but they do care about each other, and they do like each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a a tug pull, kind of like, you know, passionate feeling towards someone, and towards each other, like musically in general, like, you know, just knowing like loving their music, on your own path as well, and both just being in different spots, in different places, you know, emotionally and musically.
Right.
So that's just like a story about just loving somebody that's not ready to be loved. And going through the process, and just having fun, and yeah, it's just a fun story song of meeting somebody.
And this is personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were they like a big rock star?
Yeah, maybe.
That's cool though.
Maybe I'm a little bit of a groupie.
That's cool.
You know, just
I'm
one
a
band
groupie.
only though. You know,
Except
you
for camera. That's the
you're a
only
groupie
difference.
with a camera.
I'm a groupie with a camera.
I'm a groupie
with a vagina.
yeah, and who loves music and
Yeah.
likes to meet people. And, you know, I met somebody musically that shined in my heart and in my life, and I wrote a song about it. So.
They had an influence, enough of an influence for you to devote enough time to write a song. It's a great song. I love the intro to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riff that you just start off with. Is that the right terminology? The riff that you start off with?
Yeah, the riff, you know, that was actually a process. It actually started off like this. Okay. There was a different way. Like, that song had quite the process to it. I started playing it completely different. And one of my friends was like, why don't you try putting that together? Yeah, I actually forgot the original way I started playing that. That's why it's so important to learn from other musicians, and you know, just show them what you got. You know, collaborating, and you know, especially if you just write a song, you know, getting other people's input can really help.
And everybody has a you know,
and you don't always
a unique
have to go with their
take and a
stuff.
different angle. Yeah, exactly.
I've learned so much, like, just listening to other people and just getting the feel. Like, what do you guys think of this? You know? Trying to think of how I started playing that. But yeah, that one was a lot different when I first started putting it together. But it's really been fun writing music and not only having poetry and having music to put on a guitar, but putting chords to that music has been amazing.
Totally. Speaking of poetry, you do rap.
I do.
Let's talk about that. What kind of rap do you do? Are you more like sorry, my mic was a little disconnected on that.
Let's make sure it's on. Yeah.
It is on. It's on.
Okay, so how I got into rap, okay? A while back, years ago, I was in the car with one of my friends, and we freestyle rap every now and then. You know, it's just something I've always done since I was a kid. I've just always kind of been put on the spot, like, you know, somebody starts flowing and they're like, okay, come on, Dee, it's you now, you know? And I'm always like, oh, I don't know, and like I'll spit a few verses or a few lines or whatnot. But one day I was like feeling it, you know, and I totally freestyled, and one of my friends was like, why don't you rap?
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I was like, me? That's like,
are you gonna freestyle on my show?
I can freestyle for you.
So one of the things, and sorry to cut you off because we should probably keep talking a little bit more about your rap, but one of the things that I've actually thought about is my brother is an amazing picker and guitarist.
Oh, cool.
And I've talked to him about maybe me doing some hip hop while he plays like acoustic hip hop.
Cool.
So he would just play the acoustic guitar, and I would just rap over his acoustic rap, like, or his acoustic like music. And we've chatted about it. We've got some things in the mix and whatnot. But even then, it would be cool to have. I don't know how guitars work. I don't know if you can tune them to like a soprano and an alto, or like a bass. Like obviously you're gonna have a bass, but like a soprano and an alto, and then you can
it's doable.
You can have two guitars playing, you know, different levels. You know, you have your soprano and your alto, so they're blending in, and then you have a guy who just throws down like a light hip hop, nothing crazy. You know, something along the lines of like Slug of Atmosphere, you know, or like NF, or you
Love
know, that style of like hip hop.
Yeah,
I'm not gangster.
You know,
I'm not a studio gangster. I got a studio, but I ain't a gangster.
It's so doable. Like, I've taken my hip hop songs, my rap songs, and made them acoustic,
which is a completely unique vibe. Like, that is completely different, and which is why I wanted to do something like that. It's because like there's a lot of guys out there, and not only
that hasn't been done.
But just even bring in a couple bongo drums, and I could sit there and I could play some bongo drums, and I could play some bongos, and I could have like two people plugged in, you know, on this interface playing guitar, and then I could just lay down,
dude, that'd be sick.
My track, you know, and it'd be unique, it'd be different. And
that's innovative.
Yeah, it's just
because I mean
it's unique.
You don't really see very much acoustic rap.
You don't.
Or hip hop.
I don't know any acoustic rap.
Do you know anybody that does that?
I think maybe Tupac did acoustic one time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's fucking Google it. By the way, we still have to look up your art, so don't let me forget to let everybody know like how cool your art is.
Yes, you guys, please view my art. I love to paint, and I will paint you anything you want. I can do that. We do live in that day and age where we can literally paint and do whatever we want. We should be able to. Anything. America, you got freedom. Can't do that in North Korea, I'll tell you that. It's got to be a Kim Jong-il or Kim
Sung Il.
Hey, I'd do him.
Kim Jong Un.
I would paint him, but I'd have some like sick, like cool doodle stuff in the background.
Oh, you know what you should do?
Yeah.
maybe the piece that you have here, if you haven't, like, if you don't find something that fits well with the studio, do something with Kim Jong Un with an American flag in the background.
Ooh.
Just something super contradictory that would just fuck with politics.
Yeah.
That way I can just tag that motherfucker and everything.
That would be good. That'd be good, especially with like how things are going right now.
I had 2 downloads from North Korea.
Really?
North Korea, like straight up, like it came through, and I was like, "Who the fuck is listening to my shit in North Korea?" But I had 2 downloads from North Korea. At one point, I had more downloads from North Korea than I did from Idaho, and that was 2 because people from Idaho don't listen to my stuff. It's people from everywhere else in the world. Idaho's slowly been picking up.
Let's really like dive into local music and local people.
I think
photographers, videographers that are out there, you know, trying to show the world like who we all are, you know?
Yeah.
Like as a culture, as a community.
I think so. But for me, it's
fun.
It doesn't really matter to me, because if I'm able to expose people like you and get you out to everywhere else in the United States, Canada, you know, a lot of Europe, Asia, wherever. If I can get you out to the world in general, to me it doesn't matter if Idaho even cares about us, because everybody else is paying attention.
Right.
And eventually you want to be on the next level.
From Idaho.
You want to be on the next level.
Then they're like, oh my gosh, where's that person from? Idaho.
Sure.
Shit, what's going on in Idaho?
Idaho. And that's probably why I have like more downloads from like New York and Utah and Arizona.
Because they hear a lot of the same stuff.
They do.
In their own like area. You know,
True.
I think every area has their own sound. You know, I went to California last summer on vacation for a couple weeks, and there's like their own sound, like their own thing. They do a lot of hip hop, a lot of
blended genres. Like hybrid music, which is what I was talking about. You know, like with the acoustic and the hip hop, like have 2 guys come on, maybe even like a country like guitar player, and have him pick some cool shit while I throw down like a different verse, or have like, you know, 2 or 3 different rappers.
You throw down a
at the
verse.
Same time.
You rap too?
Sometimes I can write. I don't freestyle, but I can write.
Well, freestyle's easy because you have it all in your head already. Did I just tell a secret?
Sometimes you just have to be able to figure out the words beforehand
and what's going on around you. Like, I mean, that's how it comes together. Like, you take a experience and you make a rap out of it, and sometimes you're in a similar experience, and there you go.
Yeah, but, it's very true.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a little break.
That's fine. We'll pause this real quick here, and we'll be back literally right now. All right, cool. We're back. And do you want to play another song real quick?
I do.
After the bathroom break. Sweet.
Yeah.
What song are you gonna play for us right now?
Just Fucking Fine.
Whoa, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell me the story afterwards, maybe.
Okay. Living for today and the sun's gonna shine. I'm gonna be just fucking fine. Here for today and I'm gone by tomorrow. I've got the light, everything's alright. You do you and I'll do me. Ain't no other way to be. So I'm living for today and the sun's gonna shine. I'm gonna be just fucking fine. on me, I'll go far, learning my way, and my path is clear, even without you, my dear. 'Cause I'm living for today, and the sun's gonna shine. I'm gonna be just fucking fine. Here for today, and I'm gone by tomorrow. I've got the light, everything's alright. You do you, and I'll do me. Ain't no other way to be. So I'm living for today, and the sun's gonna shine. I'm gonna be just fucking fine. Blow me a kiss, off I go. Give me a wish for the road. So I'm living for today, and the sun's gonna shine. I'm gonna be just fucking fine.
Dope. That was sick.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that? Is that the dude, the band member who's like, it's like, oh,
Difficult.
dude, you're just a roadie. I don't know how to emotionally invest in you right now.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet. I'm a rock star.
Right. That's basically like saying, like, you know, I'm just fucking fine. Like either way, I got me, and that's the way it's gonna be.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be selfish.
Yeah.
You kind of have to invest in yourself. And over the last decade of my life, I have recognized the things that have leached the time that I should have invested into myself. And I always wanted to do stuff like this. I've always wanted to do podcasting, and I've always wanted to do photography. I've always wanted to do that stuff. And I've always devoted my time and my resources into other people who it not necessarily appreciated that, but they didn't allow me to devote time and resources into myself to make myself better. It was always about other people.
Yeah.
And I've slowly, over the last year and a half, I've come to realize that if I've made it this far in life, you know, if I started like 10 years ago on doing what I do now, I probably would have a family, and I probably would have like a wife and kids, and I would probably be in a different situation, enjoying what I do, because at that point I would have found somebody who had appreciated what I do and been supportive in it. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I'm starting fucking late in life, and it's not a bad thing. You know, you learn from those trials and tribulations, and you learn from the experiences that you have. But I, unfortunately, I'm a little premature when it comes to things that I do. The people that I would consider my competitors, and by that I mean like business-wise, but they're great people, and I get along with them. But the people who own businesses that would technically steal business from me, or attract a different crowd that I could potentially tap into, I'm just premature in the industry, in the music industry, in the podcast industry, and so that song definitely, it would hit home.
Yeah, it's
for
like,
somebody
you
like
do you, I do me.
Exactly, because I'm
like,
just fucking
you.
fine.
Yeah, you're just
yeah,
fucking fine.
I'm just fucking
I'm just
fine.
fucking fine. Like, you do you.
Exactly.
And I do me, and I'm gonna be just fucking fine. So.
Exactly. Be supportive. Support you, support me, and vice versa. That's how it should be.
Exactly.
There's a lot of selfish people out there, but at a certain point, you have to be selfish. But you also have to be supportive, and what I've fallen into is there's been a few people I've given my time who have been extremely supportive, and it didn't work out, and they have made me grow exponentially in those areas and in many capacities.
That's beautiful. Like somebody who inspires you to grow. Like maybe
yes,
that's
whether or not it works out.
Yeah.
That's a great chapter in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who, when I was, I wouldn't say immature, but I wasn't mature enough to recognize what I was able to devote my time to, and the people I could have also helped improve on their craft and do what I do, and also make them feel better about themselves. Because, the things that I do, a lot of people have stories like you that need to be told, and it's difficult to find a platform, especially here in the Valley. It's difficult to find a platform, and if I had done this 5 years ago when I wanted to do this, or if I had, started taking photos 5 years ago, I was doing coffee shops like last May, and now, I get hired out to go to like LA and like Las Vegas and like Oregon and Salt Lake, I'm doing certain things that
you're more ready for.
I would have never, I just never would have thought I'd be doing stuff what I'm doing right now.
And that's the beautiful thing about music and art, is doing things that you 5 years ago would have been like, I didn't think I was ever going to get there, or I was ever going to do that.
But if you started 5 years ago, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
did you start 5 years ago?
No, I started like 8 months ago.
You're thinking about it 5 years ago.
But I was thinking about it 5 years ago,
You're planning.
And if I had started doing what I wanted to do 5 years ago, I'd be 5 years ahead of the game where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be.
That's like me if I picked up the guitar 5 years ago and wrote all these songs 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, where would I be?
But did you have
here
something
now.
Holding you back though? I did. That was my problem.
I had like my own like self, like confidence and self-esteem, and like, am I able to do that? Am I worthy enough? Or can I?
So it was a personal setback.
It was a personal, yeah.
See, and mine wasn't a personal setback. My setback was the people that I was with demanded that I devoted the entirety of my time to them. And it wasn't that they weren't supportive. It's just that
they wanted you to be at that level that you weren't there.
They just made me feel like I shouldn't do that, or like spending time with them was more important than spending time on myself. Does that make sense? Like I would get home at like 6 o'clock from work, right? When I worked from an office here in Boise. And I'd get here, at home, and I'd want to spend like 45 minutes just reading a book to improve myself, and sitting out and enjoying the sun and just decompressing. But then I'd show up at like their house, 7:30, like maybe 7:30 latest. And by that time, they felt like their whole day was over at like 7:30. And so it was an issue of like, oh, well, you come home from work and, you don't come over and hang out with me. You're just going home and reading a book, and you're spending time by yourself, and blah, blah, blah.
That's important, though.
It is important.
That's
and
good.
That the problem
Everybody
is
needs that time. Some people aren't okay with it.
They do. And the problem with that was I was made to feel like I wasn't good enough to spend time on myself. And the moment that I broke out from those relationships, I've exploded. And thinking back on it, when and by exploding I mean like personally I've exploded. Doesn't mean that I'm extremely successful, but I've done things that like I never thought I would ever be able to do, right?
Because you have the time for you. Because
now I devote that time into me, and I recognize the qualities in people who I do want to spend time with and devote my time to. I recognize certain qualities in those people, and those are the individuals now who I will spend my time with and devote my time to.
Yeah, because time is valuable. You don't get it back.
You can't get it back. I can always make money.
Yeah,
I can never
right.
make time. And I tell people that all the
Me
that
too.
that is my number one saying. When people ask me like, "Oh, dude, you do this, and this, and blah, blah," you know, like, because like from Boise, a lot of people don't know that like people from Boise do really cool shit. You know, like there are a lot of people
There's
who
a
do
lot
really
of creative people
amazing things
Yeah.
here, and people don't know that Boise is an untapped resource. But people from Boise who make
No.
it, who still live here, and who know about it, they have to get out of Boise. You know, like I'm not stuck taking photos at like coffee shops anymore.
No, that's why
you
you're
know?
out,
like
like,
that's why I
different
get out and do
places,
stuff.
yeah.
And I make my connections, and I'm like very professional. I do what I do, just like yourself,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of the times people don't understand that there is a grind and there is a hustle. And another thing that is repetitive is everybody respects your grind, but nobody will respect your hustle. I'm not a hustler. I don't hustle people. I'm not a salesman. Nobody wants to be sold to. People like to buy into shit.
No.
You know,
yeah,
like they want to be a part of
I support
something.
other people, you know, in hopes that maybe they'll support me, if anything. But I put myself out there to help other people first.
Totally.
You know, it's not just about me. You know, like, yeah.
Honestly, it should be, though.
It is about me, and, you know, to...
Because those people are going to take advantage of you.
Yeah, well...
They will. They will. I'm just telling you. Like, you help other people, but you also make sure that you take care of yourself.
True.
Yeah. You should be the number one priority. You're an amazing artist in every capacity. And so you need to make sure that, like, people won't take advantage of you. Because people, they are fucking leeches.
I have been warned.
100%. There's tons of them. Yeah, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, you have to be
know?
careful, yes.
You do.
But you have to support other striving artists out there. But, yes, the main goal is yourself. And I support other people, but the backhand, the backbone, like, is me. So.
Yeah, and you have to recognize when people don't support you, because, you know, I go out, I probably took photos. This is an example, and I'm not trying to talk about myself, but I'm just trying to give you an example of my experience, because I've taken photos of hundreds of bands over the last, like, 10 months. Like, I go out all the time, 3-4 times a week, and there's 3 or 4 bands playing in a night. I'll take photos of all of them. Do you know how many of those bands actually
find who you are,
tag me, like me, or reshare any of the stuff that I actually do for them? Probably
maybe
1%. Like, not even. I'm not even shitting you.
Would you say 1 a week or just 1%? Like,
I'm talking like 1%. Nobody reshares my shit, and then they'll hit me up like a week later and ask me to send them like a full quality photo for their promotion. All the time. It happens all the time. All the time. And they ask me for like
I can see
free
that.
photos and stuff like that. Yeah. They want charity. And I tell them, I'm like, yeah, you can, but if you don't tag me, you have to take that shit down. Straight up.
And that's
like,
what I'm
I don't
about.
work for fucking free.
If I work with somebody, or if I'm like doing something like this, I'm definitely going to highlight you. I'm definitely going to showcase like who I'm working with and like what I'm doing. That's a big part of like my process and who I am.
Totally.
You know, if I go to a show and there's a photographer that I might be following, or I see them there, or somebody taking pictures, I'm going to say, hey, you know, I'm Dee Dee. You know, do you have a Facebook? Do you have an Instagram or something? Like, I would like to know who you are and maybe work with you, or, you know, get a photo. Like, let's take a photo right now, or something like that, you know?
It's because you never know who you're meeting.
You never know.
If I'm taking photos of somebody who's playing a show in front of 15 people, 2 years from now, they could be playing Madison Square Garden. And guess what? In my portfolio, I have their photos from 10 years ago, and you know, or however many years ago. And for me, that's something that
And
You know,
it's
I
sad,
take a lot of pride
it's sad
in.
that some people don't like see that, like the big picture, you know, of everything, like that goes with music and goes with promoting and stuff like that. There's a certain like, you know, way you go about it, and it's you can choose the right way, you can choose the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like I'm sour
And it's not,
about it.
it's not like there is a right way or a wrong way, either way. You know?
Right. But and I'm not.
But
I'm
that's
not.
what you experience. Like out of all these people that you take photos of, you know, one person or one band out of the whole week will say or will find you,
or even just like the photos that I tag them in. But they don't pay me. You know, like some of these bands, you know, if they don't pay me, they don't pay me. That's fine. Because
how much do you charge, by the way, if somebody was to pay you?
Like we'll talk about that off mic.
Okay.
But I'm a good price,
Yeah.
and I have like a job, like a legitimate job that does pay me for my time.
But this is mostly like hobby.
This is a hobby, but I also have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Yeah, I have some legit equipment. I'm running like 3 full frame cameras. I've got a crop sensor.
So it's
I'm
not
doing
just going to be
35
this
millimeter.
camera and this camera. There's like this one and this one. And that
We've got like 4 cameras going on right now. We got the puppy cam over here. I threw the puppy cam over
Where
here
is
because my
it?
dog, she came over and she was laying with me for a
Oh,
little
right
bit.
there.
So I do
Aw.
this one right here.
Oh,
So
that one.
so the one with my like 2 fingers up right now, that's the puppy cam.
Cute.
So she'll come in and snuggle up with me sometimes when I'm hanging out. But I'm not sour about people. If I jump out and I go take photos of you and like you don't respect it or you don't like my style, I don't give a flying fuck because I decided to go out. I go to shows for free and I enjoyed myself and I improved myself on my craft.
You did post that photo that I was talking about, the one that you took of me and Jimmy. You did post that.
On the Weekend Vibes.
Yeah, you did. On the Weekend Vibes.
On my personal account.
Yeah, and I think that's where I got it from, and I posted it on my Instagram. But
That's
yeah,
what's
I
up.
was so excited to see that.
That was a cool photo.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah,
That was
a good
awesome.
photo.
Yeah.
That was with one of my older cameras.
Yeah.
A great camera. But like
Was it the fisheye lens?
no, it was fisheye.
Yeah.
But I've got 3 fisheye lenses, and
Those are awesome.
yeah, they're great. You know, you can get in there, you can get aggressive, and you can take some really unique and very intimate shots.
That reminds
with people.
me of like some videos that I've seen with the fisheye lens. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but
It's just a different style.
It is,
I grew up
yeah.
skateboarding, so for me, the fisheye lens was always something that I was
especially
using.
when it's like slow mo. Like if you get like a slow mo video of like the fisheye that like zooms in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a very different.
Yeah, you know
style.
exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I do. But it's a unique style, and some people do like it, some people don't. And I'm not trying to knock the bands that I take photos of or the whatnot. Photos of the bands I take photos for, they pay me, you know. But the bands I take photos of, who don't, you know, have an appreciation, that's totally fine because I do get better at what I do. And it's just like fans, right? Just like people
Yeah, you know, when you
who you
post
play
that,
for and they don't like your stuff or whatnot,
they
they're
might
still
know,
there.
Yeah, they might know that band or they might like the photography themselves, and those people might look up your stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't even think about that.
yeah.
All I think about
That-
is the fact that
yeah.
like I was
There.
I got a great performance, and I was able to make myself better. I was able to figure out different angles and different mechanics with my camera, and you know, figuring out like, you know, shutter speed and
Yeah,
you
every
know,
time.
like all different types
yeah,
of
like
options.
what if you
like
had like a
figuring
new
out my
lens
camera.
or something that you were testing out?
That's exactly
I bet
what
that
I do.
happens all the time.
That's what I do. I have like
Yeah, you're
10
like,
lenses.
This
and
is time for me to go have some fun.
It's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I enjoy myself. So regardless of whether or not somebody
You're having a good time.
pays me for it,
acknowledges it or not.
Or acknowledges it or not. I still enjoy myself, but it's still almost a slap in the face when they don't like it, they don't follow me,
but they want it.
But then they want to use it for their own promotional purposes and marketing purposes. And I'm sitting there thinking like, and this happens quite a bit. People hit me up.
It's silly.
No, get this.
It's real, but it's silly.
Well, get this. I had a band.
They're not experienced.
I had a band who asked me to come out and do their full promo for their Spotify and all kinds of shit, and their like album cover and all their upcoming promotions and blah blah blah, right? And I was under the impression that I'd at least get paid, I don't know, worth my time, you know. And they ended up taking my photos and they edited these photos. They edited my edited photos, and then they cropped out like my Channel 99 studio on the corner. And they used these multiple times. Well, when I saw those, I was like, every time I saw them, I was like, you know, at Channel 99 Studio. Like, you're going to take my photos at Channel 99 Studios. Oh, great crop at Channel 99 Studios. Great edit at Channel 99 Studios. Don't take my photos and change it up. Like, that's, if you want me to do me for my style, yeah. I'm not going to take your music and have another, like, producer or throw it into another, like, mixer program and mix your music. I'm not going to mix your own music and change it up. Like, I'm not going to, like, change levels and, like, change your music. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to abuse your time. And unfortunately, I was extremely, you know, unprofessional on their part, but I think they got the point as soon as like they started tagging me, or as soon as they started posting those things and I started tagging myself in those. The next time I went and I did another shoot for them, only because I had an extra 30 minutes. I went and did a shoot. When I showed up, you know, they put me on the list with an extra. They gave me a bunch of drink tickets. When they posted the photos, they started tagging me, but they should. Okay, yeah. They should. And that's professionalism, right? Yeah. I would do the same for like an artist. Anybody who treats me with respect and they respect my time, regardless of whether or not they're paying me or it's free, they should respect me or you as an artist for the time that you put into what it is that you do. Yeah. I wouldn't expect somebody like you to show up to a venue, work for free, and then be exploited and used for their own purposes and marketing for free. You shouldn't do that. Like, it's like them taking your music video and using it for their own purposes to market their own brand. That's theft. That's literally theft. They're stealing your service, your product, like everything that it is. That's literally business. Like that is theft, and nobody should put up with that. And so, you know, you figure out who you weed out, and and eventually,
there's a lot of people in this business.
Yeah, and eventually
in the business.
Well, and eventually, the people on that next level, they see that you've gone through those hardships, and that's when they hire you out. That's why I've been able to climb to where I've been able to climb.
Oh, I remember this.
Because people who are on that next level have been found by people who have gone through it.
They can see what's going on.
Yeah, like, they've gone through those. They've gone through those hardships, and they've been taken advantage of, and like they've been able to fight, you know, tooth and nail to get to where they're at, and then they look at people who, you know, are in your position or in my position, or somebody who has been able to like scrape from the bottom, and they've taken the shit and they've been taken advantage of. And they look at those people and they're like, all right, you're genuine. Like, you keep working. Like,
yeah, you're not gonna let that hold you back. You keep
grinding.
You know?
Like, you keep doing your thing.
Stop you. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not causing drama. You're not, because it's not like I would jump in and cause drama. I wouldn't like put somebody on blast. I would just like tag my own shit. If you're not gonna tag me on a photo and you're promoting a show, and you're not tagging me on a photo, well, I'm gonna fucking tag myself on that photo because it's my fucking photo, you know. And for the most part, a lot of the people who I've done that to, they'll eventually tag me, and then going forward, they'll tag me on the photos that they use.
That's like saying, like, hey, this is me, without, like, really saying it.
If you pay me for the photos, they're your fucking photos. Don't even tag me. I don't even care if you tag me. Mm-hmm. But if they're free photos or if you steal it off my page, you should tag me. Like, you should give me some credit. Like, especially if you crop shit out, you know? Yeah. That's like somebody, you know, taking your song and then putting it on their own brand.
On my Instagram, did I tag you?
Well, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Did I? It doesn't even matter if you did.
I think you saw it.
You're on Weekend Vibes. It's Weekend Vibes doesn't even matter. If I didn't tag you and you took it, then don't even worry about it.
You better tag me.
Well, I'll go back through and I'll tag you. But probably because at the time we didn't follow each other. But it's not a huge deal. But when it comes to like you're performing and I'm performing at the same time, have an appreciation for a performer. Yeah. You know, I'm performing. You know, like I'm doing my job, what I'm doing, just like somebody who's on stage. You're performing, you're doing your job. Have an appreciation for the other people who are working around you. If I took a photo of anybody who's performing, I tell them, like, you follow me, I follow you back, I'll tag you. I'll make sure you get credit for this photo, and then you send me your email address. I will send you the full like file size. You can use it and abuse it, like you enjoy it. If it's free, just tag me. If it's not free, if you're paying me for it, don't even worry about tagging me. I take off.
It's already there.
I take off Channel 99 Studio. Nobody knows It's me. Yeah, I take it all off. You bought the photo. It's your property. You know, that's it. It's your right. It's literally your property.
I don't know why somebody would do that, but
I take off Channel 99. If anybody pays me, I take off Channel 99.
Really?
And some bands actually tell me that they don't like it when I take off Channel 99. And I just tell them, you own that photo. I don't own that photo anymore.
Yeah.
I won't post it. I won't use that photo. I don't post any photos that have ever been bought. Talking like Dr. Dre, Ja Rule, anybody who's bought photos from me, shit that you don't see that I actually do, like the big names that I actually do that I don't really talk about, you don't see it because they buy the rights to all the photos that I take. And so they get all the photos. I don't post them. It's not on Channel 99. It's on their pages or it's whatever they want. If they don't even want to use it, I still get paid for it. It doesn't matter to me, you know. And, you know, I wouldn't expect somebody to write a song and then me to take the complete rights to it without giving them credit. You know, I wouldn't want you to write a song and for Channel 99, you know, like my intro, like I wouldn't expect you to write a free intro for my Channel 99 studio and then not give you credit for it if it's free. But if I paid for it, I wouldn't expect to have to put you on like every episode and be like, oh, thanks for the intro, you know, like.
Yeah,
thanks for the intro, Dee Dee. Like, appreciate you. That was by Dee Dee, you know, Chavez, like. You know, blah, blah, blah. I would do that if it was free. I would always be like, oh, shit, Dee Dee killed that fucking intro. Appreciate you for tuning in to Channel 99. We got with us today, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I would do that if it was free. But if I paid for it, I won't fucking do that because I paid for it. Just like, you know, everything that you should buy, it's your own. It's your own property. So, sorry I got off on a tangent. But that's just how it is. That's how I see it as business in general.
That's how it goes sometimes, you know.
It's very lucrative. Yeah. And it's somewhat abusive, but that's how people like, you know, me and you, we're able to do what we do and we're able to enjoy it and we can tell people to fuck off and still succeed.
Yeah. Like,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we're still going to do ourselves. Like, we're still gonna do us.
What are people gonna do? Not hire us if they're not paying us anyways? No, exactly. The fuck out of here.
Did you ever pull up my art?
No, but we're going to.
Okay. It needs to be in there at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna pull up your art real quick.
Because we talked about it a lot.
I know. What's your art page? Let's jump back into art.
You want to go to Facebook?
We can go to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook.
It's more on Instagram. I have more art on Instagram.
I can do Instagram too.
But you can highlight my Facebook as well. I need more.
What's your Facebook? My Facebook is popping.
Art by
my
Dee Dee
Instagram.
Chavez.
People don't care about my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, highlight.
Well, let's go to Instagram real quick.
It has all my art on there. Facebook. No, I just started promoting that like a month ago. Yeah.
All right, we're going to transition this, everybody. All right, so let's see. I'll just log in on Facebook. There you go, everybody. That's my phone number. Spam the fuck out of me, I guess. Just check my email for a message with your code. What? Get the fuck out of here. 824-155. What? That's literally what they just gave me. 824-155 is your Facebook login code. Did I not do that?
I guess not.
It was 824-155. Continue. No. What? Let me go to my email. This is ridiculous, everybody. I'm sorry.
I'm taking photos.
This is ridiculous.
This is the first time I've had my phone since I've been here.
824-155. Dude, that is literally what it just sent me, everybody. Check this out. Oh, people can't see this, but we'll do this right here. Check this out. 824-155. Fucking Facebook. Hold on, let's go back. I guess we'll have to restart. Try again. We sent your code to your phone number. Yeah, you just did. Oh, no, I'm not James Meyer. No. Let's do another one. 694. Oh, well, people didn't even see that, I guess. Come on, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
No, you're totally fine. T. James Meyer. Wow. This is fucking retarded. Excuse my language, but not really, because I'm not politically correct. Let's go back to Instagram real quick, and we will do a different login.
Seems like Instagram is liking you more. Maybe.
It's like sign in with Facebook. That's literally what my Facebook is. Let me try this. Tim.Meyer. Cool. We got it. Okay. Fuck you, Instagram. Fuck you, Facebook, for putting me through that bullshit. Okay. Okay, so yours is your art. Is it just on Dee Dee?
Yeah. Steve, that's me. Oh, I have a website too.
What's your website?
DeeDeeThat'sMe.com.
Oh, should we go to your website?
It's sick. My website's badass. Okay, so this is my Instagram, everybody.
Everybody's watching her from the right side up there on the television.
I have a painting at Karma nightclub here in Boise.
Yeah, I was just there the other night. Steve's one of my buddies. Yeah, so cool. I rolled up, and that dude definitely took care of me and the people that I brought with me, who he didn't even know.
When was this?
Last night.
Really? They're open right now, right?
It was a soft launch.
Was it? I thought they were going to do something on New Year's.
They did. I was there too on New Year's. It was another soft launch. It's just like kind of like improve one thing, improve another thing, improve another thing.
Kind of just seeing how it's going.
Yeah, the vibe.
They're doing something on the 31st, right? Isn't that their official? Are you going to be there? I'm going to be there.
31st is the official. I think so. I took a couple really cool photos last night.
Let's see.
Like performing?
No, I'm going to be there just to hang out and check out
I'll probably be there.
New area.
If Steve's there, I'll probably end up being there because.
You can take a picture with me and my painting or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hang out
I'll
with
do
me
that.
and have a shot.
Yeah, I'll have a couple shots with you. Yeah, totally.
Sweet. But yeah.
So wait, so this one, is this the one at Karma?
Yeah. Okay, that one right there, the one I'm holding, of course. Yeah, that's the one that's at Karma.
That's
right
dope.
Yeah, it's my best-selling painting right there. So I do a lot of stuff.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
The Joker.
Yeah, that's on
Do you
wood.
think Heath Ledger is a better Joker than Joaquin Phoenix? Isn't that who
That's
was the
hard.
most recent Joker, right? Joaquin Phoenix?
Mm-hmm. That's hard to say. I think the roles that I've seen people play as a Joker have all been amazing.
And it's a different style, right?
Yeah,
Because Jack Nicholson was a badass Joker.
Nicholson. Yeah, like you
he
thought
was
like
probably
who
the
could
best
do
Joker.
that? Like who could outdo him, right?
Jack Nicholson was so good.
And then here comes Heath Ledger, and he's freaking badass, you know, and like
he died because of it.
yeah, it's crazy. And then like Joaquin Phoenix, like he's
I
amazing
haven't seen
too.
the new Joker.
I
by the
haven't
way.
either.
It's on my phone. I have the new
Yeah?
Joker on my phone. Yeah, but I haven't
Cool.
watched it yet.
I bet he's amazing. I think it's just one of those roles that if you tap into it, like, right, like you can do
And
no wrong.
And the direction.
Yeah.
There has to be like good direction, and there has to be good writing. Mm-hmm. Because some of my favorite Batman movies, maybe because I'm old as dirt, but some of my favorite Batman movies were it was Tim Burton, and and then Jack Nicholson was he was Tim Burton, right? Was Jack Nicholson the Joker during the Tim Burton series?
Jack Nicholson, was he? I think
Let's find out
so.
real quick. Jack Nicholson, Joker. But he was dope. And
I
then
want
you
to
had
say it was him or somebody else.
Homeboy as the
Yeah,
Penguin.
yeah. Uh-huh. Was he the Penguin? Jack Nicholson?
No, he
No?
was the Joker.
He was? Okay.
I want to say he was the Joker in the let's do Burton. I think he was the Tim Burton Joker. But he honestly was one of the best Jokers. Like, he
Yeah.
was so badass. The Joker was
He
a chosen
was.
list of
He
Jack
was really
Nicholson,
creepy.
Mama Forson. I don't care about it.
Yeah,
But-
I think he was super creepy. I think Heath Ledger was like just really cool, and
He was very unique.
new age,
Yes.
just very, very, very like new age. But as far as
Yeah,
like
he was the he was Joker during like Tim Burton days.
Mm-hmm.
The Tim Burton days were where Batman was at. I don't know. I like Tim. I'm a big Tim
Me
Burton
too.
fan. Big Fish was a great movie. Did you ever see that
Yeah,
one? That was a
so
great movie.
cool.
I wasn't a huge fan of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like, it was a good movie,
Mm-hmm.
but like Tim Burton's twist on it was kind of like a little different.
Yeah.
It was still a great movie.
For me, it was the Oompa Loompas that got me. Like,
They were a little different.
just like it was the same person as every Oompa Loompa.
It was. They were all
I-
clones.
yeah,
it
they
was
were
a
all
clone.
cloned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and
all a clone.
I didn't really like that. I liked the classic better.
Yeah.
But
Tim Burton's one of my favorite like directors and producers of all time, though. That
Yeah,
guy's
he's
got a
good.
very unique twist on movies. And then you have like people like M. Night Shyamalan. Have you seen any of? You've probably seen his movies. Signs.
mm-hmm.
The Village.
Yeah,
Lady Under the Water.
they're kind of cool.
They're a little weird. It's
Yeah,
always
they're
like there's
weird.
always like a twist, right?
That doesn't make sense.
There's always a twist to
Yeah.
his movies. The Village really tripped me out though. When that chick climbed the wall, and then this dude's like driving a car, and I was like, holy shit, wasn't this like based in like the 1800s?
Right.
And then this chick's like
they were
blind.
closed off though.
Yeah, she's like blind, and she's
to them
like,
it was 1800s.
that's why they sent the blind chick. Yeah. They like raised this whole community in the middle of this reserve. Fucking weird
shit.
dude. Where do you come up with where would you come up with shit like that?
In the middle of nowhere.
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, a lot of drugs, and like just going out and
doing
finding
lots
new
of
places.
drugs. Just
Finding new
going out
places
doing lots
and
of
doing
drugs.
lots of drugs and be like, oh, this is a new place I've never been.
Let me
Nobody
write this
knows
movie real quick.
what this is or where it is, so let's just write a movie about this. Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite directors? Are you like a big movie guy? Or big movie fan? Big movie girl?
Guy, girl.
Yeah.
I really like Star Wars. I really
Like Lucas Star Wars? Or like Disney Star Wars?
like
I haven't seen any of
Star
the-
Wars.
Me too. I haven't seen
like
I'm a
the
big
newer
fan of the
stuff,
George Lucas
but,
stuff.
yeah,
I haven't seen
I love
any of the
George
stuff.
Lucas. The newer stuff is I really like Mandalorian.
Haven't seen
I think
it.
they did really good with that.
Haven't seen The Mandalorian. It's a TV show based on a bounty hunter. That's all I know, right? Am I correct on that?
Okay, yeah, it's based on a bounty hunter, yeah, but
What bounty hunter though? Is his name Mandalorian?
so far, 6th episode, 1st season. That's all you know him as.
Just
So name it.
Mandalorian, but his name's like Mandalorian, so he's like a new character. It's just a side story.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome though. You get to try to figure out like where Yoda's from.
I wonder if, yeah, that's where like that Baby Yoda memes come in, right?
Yeah.
But like I've heard that it's not a Baby Yoda, or is that really Baby Yoda? Is that like a young Yoda? It is a young Yoda? Okay.
Yeah, it's Yoda when he was.
Like 500 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's 50. In the
When
show.
he's this little
when
baby
he's that
thing.
little baby, he's 50 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's just learning how to talk, but he's got like all these like superpowers,
Like
mind
what kind of
powers and stuff.
superpowers?
It's Yoda. Yoda can do anything.
He talks
What is
backwards.
a Yoda?
I don't
Yeah.
know. A
Where
Yoda
is a
is
Yoda
something
from?
that talks backwards. That's all I know. Every time I hear about
Yoda's
Yoda,
fascinating.
I hear Yoda is. Every time I like watch Yoda, it's everything is backwards. It's like just Yoda talk.
I can see that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yoda talk. He's like, I can't even do it. I'm not in the place to like do that right now. But like, yeah. But I'm a huge Star Wars fan. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one.
I was a huge fan of the legit originals.
Yeah. I would have to say
Return of the
like,
Empire is probably my favorite. Is that the name of it?
Empire
Right?
Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back. That
Yeah.
was probably my favorite. Return of the Jedi was really good. But the Empire Strikes Back was dope just because they had like all the big machines and they were like on the like snow planet and it was just awesome. Yeah. I had the conversation with my roommate.
Say that, yeah.
Is that your favorite movie too?
Yeah.
For the originals, Clone Wars was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
was good.
Clone Wars was awesome.
When they rebooted and did episode 1 through 3 in the early 2000s, like late 90s, those were actually pretty good. And then I kind of lost interest. I actually got into Star Trek a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Are you a Star Trek fan?
Not really.
I'm not a Trekkie by any means, but the Star Trek movies
okay.
are awesome.
Yeah, I've seen one.
Which one? I don't know. The most
One of the
recent
newer
one.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both really good. They did a good job writing, and The special effects were awesome, but it's kind of to be expected. We're like in 2020. You should be able to, put together some shit with like tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for a budget. Mm-hmm. But the Star Wars stuff, I was never into Star Wars and I was never into Star Trek, but Star Wars kind of turned me off after the Rogue One or whatever like that. I was like, not a huge fan. So then I started watching more Star Trek stuff, and I kind of got into that. And I'm not really a sci-fi guy. I'm a gamer. I play like a lot of RPGs, and I'm into that stuff. But I was never really into like Star Wars or Star Trek hardcore, especially Star Trek. But then, like, as soon as Star Wars started transitioning to a bunch of side stories of stuff I didn't get, and now they're just pumping out so many movies and so many shows. Like, there's so much to the storyline. I get lost. I'm like overwhelmed and somewhat intimidated by the fact that I don't know anything about it. That I had to switch to like Star Trek and start over with something else, right? Are you geeky? Yeah. Are you a geek? Are you a gamer?
I like Star Wars and I like sci-fi stuff. I'm going to say I know everything about them. I do like them. I enjoy watching them.
Yeah. Just
know some stuff.
Because it's colorful on the screen.
And it's cool and it's space. I mean, who doesn't like space?
Well,
that's a Final Frontier.
Don't get me started on space. Frontier.
Like, who doesn't want to go to space?
Is there really a place called space?
Can we really make it out of this atmosphere?
Do you know if it's actually even there? Have you been there?
No, I have not.
I've never been there. All I know is what I've been told. And how many people have gone to space.
And how many rockets have exploded going to space.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of this atmosphere.
NASA was talking about... We can get sidetracked for a minute.
Okay.
Because I do some podcasts on conspiracy theories. And so I geek a little bit.
Yeah. I have friends and family that geeks out a little bit on that. Elaborate.
I can geek pretty hard on this shit. And NASA, they came out with a study that talked about how they believe that the majority of space is actually, it might be liquid. Well, it makes fucking sense because they train their astronauts in water.
Yeah.
And how do we know that we are not just a bubble? And the moment you get out of our atmosphere, you're just in
an ocean,
or you're just another like molecule or something like that, right? And when you look at certain photos of like the galaxy, there's certain photos that look like an eye, or there's certain photos that look like, very familiar things.
Similar.
Yeah, very similar and very familiar things. And we really don't know how small we are, right? And to be honest with you, I think about it a lot. I don't even know if like UFOs are actually extraterrestrial. They could be intraterrestrial. And the reason I say that is just
technology.
Because yeah, but the majority of this planet, it's never been discovered by man. Like it's never been set foot
just like
by
the
man.
ocean.
It's all flyover, right?
And
I mean,
70, land in general.
70% of this planet is covered by water. And you think we're the only intelligent life, and 30% of this planet has been able to create intelligent life, and we've been able to like evolve on 30% of this planet. You don't think that there's something or some type of a race, like a merman race, that's been able to evolve underwater, but you think it's been able to evolve on land? Like, I think a lot of people are very... and they might think, people listening to this might think I'm fucking crazy, which is fine. But I think I think people are fucking crazy to think that 30% of this planet that we know of you know, that we've been told because that's all we know. If you raise a kid in a fucking box and you tell him that literally this is the entire planet and he lives in a fucking box his whole life, you think you can just let him out and he'll be successful and do whatever the fuck he wants and he'll know everything in life? No, because he only knows what what he's been told. We only know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. But like, what I think about is if we have 70% of this planet covered by water, how is there not another intelligent life form out there that has evolved over millions of years underwater if we can do it above water? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, science would tell you, like, you can evolve, period. Like, evolution works. So there has to be,
obviously,
like, there has to be intelligent life. And there's sightings. Like, you can go back and you could Google it. You can go on YouTube and you can look like, you know, USO, unidentified submerged objects. Like, there's a lot of, like, naval, like, sightings and reportings. Like, you think UFOs? Like, how do we know that those UFOs aren't from planet Earth? They're not, like, higher intelligent civilizations that we don't know about because they don't want us to know about them. Because we're not told that kind of stuff, you know? Like,
we're only told what they want us to.
I believe we're a project. I honestly feel like right now we're a project. 30% of 30% of the entire planet has been touched by man, and there's 7 billion people, so we're told, on that 30% of that 30%, which is what, a third?
Yeah.
It's a third of this entire planet. So if you have 7 billion beings
People
on this planet, like
third
people,
of it.
how do we not know that there are higher intelligent, like, civilizations that are in control of what we're doing, and we're just microorganisms? You know, we're just a bacteria on this planet, and they're in control of what we're doing. Like, nobody knows. People would fight me on that, and that's totally fine. I get that. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but that, to me, like, when you statistically break that down, we don't know what we don't know. And I believe that we are highly controlled. I believe that, like, when people are like, oh my God, nuclear warfare is going to break out. No, it's not going to break out, because there's something out there that's going to tell us that if that happens, they're going to fucking kill us all. Because I believe that if there are, like, extraterrestrials, they're using our planet. They could totally come in and kill us. If there's another,
they're obviously wanting us here to, you know, do.
I believe there's a lot of intervention. God is an alien. If you're a Christian, if you're Jewish, if you're whatever it is,
my philosophy
he's
on
not
God
from planet
is
Earth.
God is your higher self.
Higher consciousness.
Higher consciousness.
Like
yeah.
a higher.
You are your own God.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy with that.
What do you believe on multi-dimensions?
I believe in that. Yeah. I mean, like, what do you really want to talk about now?
We can totally geek
Can we
out.
talk about anything?
We can talk. This is Channel 99, girl. We can talk about whatever.
How about, like, do you really want to dive into that?
I can dive into that. I've had some serious podcasts, and, like, I've met some very interesting people who talk about that. Or we can save this for another show.
It depends on your reality and your realm of, like, what you choose to see, in a way. Like, you know, there are different, like, dimensions and places you can go and stuff, but it's how you are comfortable. It's like what you are comfortable with. Bathroom break.
Yeah, totally. We hit this bathroom. We'll be back in a minute, everybody. Once again.
1 second.
Dope. All right, we're back from another bathroom break. Thanks for the split second wait, everybody. All right, so we're on DDThat'sMe.com. This is your website. And what is it? that we're looking at, because you have so much stuff going on. You model, you're an artist, you're a musician.
Yeah, this has like my Instagram on there, my modeling photos, and
I really
my
like that
YouTube.
photo. That's a great photo right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a really badass photo, by the way, too. I really dig that one. That one's a really fucking cool photo.
I jump a lot in my photos.
You've got an array of like photos. You've got so many different styles going on here. But honestly, this is probably one of my favorite photos, because this is a photo that I would take. This is a style of like that would match with me. So
Sweet.
That's my favorite. And then this is another one that I would probably take. That's another one. That's a good photo. They're all great photos. I'm just like trying to go through the ones that like would match with my style.
Yeah. So my website has all my like upcoming art events and shows, music events. I do art shows like probably 1 or 2 every few months, any chance I get. And I do shows in open mics, so if you ever want to see what I'm up to.
And she's doing an unplug session here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I should put that on there.
Yeah, so we're gonna do an unplugged session that, like, whatever songs that you want to play, we'll put them on here. But you keep this up to date. Like, a lot of people don't keep their websites up to date, and
I'm gonna add more on here. I'm gonna add my SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. It's all gonna be looped into one.
like a direct stream, so they can just go to your website and hit the play button, and they've got your stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like sometimes, like, websites are somewhat becoming obsolete for artists, because Instagram allows artists to post all the photos of the stuff, and then Facebook, you can pay through Facebook now. You know, so you can follow an artist on Instagram and then Facebook, and then you can just pay them through Facebook. You might be able to pay people through Instagram. I don't know. I've never charged anybody through Instagram.
Yeah,
but
Instagram, I'm not too sure on. I know with ads, you can pay people so they can put an ad on your picture or something. That
right,
helps,
but what I'm
'cause they'll
saying,
promote you.
What I'm saying is you can request a payment through, like, Facebook, and people will pay you directly through Facebook, and it connects through their PayPal or maybe their Venmo account or whatever it is. They're owned by the same company. PayPal is Venmo. But they're consolidating a lot of these different ways of artists to be able to do what they do and get paid for it, whereas before you would have like a website and people would like go to your website. Like, I have websites and I don't get any engagement through my website. Even if I promote it, people don't go to my website, because they can just go to my Facebook page or my Instagram page and they can still see the same content.
Yeah, but if you want to see it all at once, go to the website.
Or just go to Instagram. Instagram really is like the new wave.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. And if Instagram could create a payment option to where, you know, you could do whatever it is, because let's be real, you can do.
I think the website looks good if you're trying to.
Your
like,
website's badass.
If you're trying to get in
amazing.
somewhere, or you want to show who you are to like a specific person, a website is like where it's at, because it's got everything. It's like they can go to it and be like, okay, here's your Facebook, here's your Instagram. They don't have to be like, okay,
sure,
I'm gonna look up the Facebook.
It's like a home base.
Yeah, it's a home base.
That makes sense. By the way, I really dig that photo, like your main photo.
Thank you.
Yeah, who did that?
Michael Sheehan.
I know that name.
Yeah.
How do I know that name? He's a.
I mean, who doesn't know him?
Yeah, he's a big name.
Yeah, he does photography and videography. I've worked with him for a few years now.
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah. Good guy.
No, that's a great photo. But no, that makes sense. Like you can aggregate all of your social media and you can put it on one platform and people can just go to your website. I mean,
yeah, I think it's mainly for the important. I mean, everybody's important, but
like the core, like the loyal people who want to go to your stuff.
People who really know like what they're looking for and what they want.
Exactly. And if you keep your content, if you keep it very unique to each platform, so if you post certain things to Facebook, which is what I do, I post certain things to Facebook. I post certain things to Instagram that I don't let follow through to my Facebook. I also post different things to my Snapchat, and I have completely different followers and a completely different demographic.
Yeah, because I mean, you're showing things to different people, and only certain people can see it if they go to this spot. If they want to see something else, they go to your other outlet. But
yeah, it's very true.
It's good to have variety like that. Not like, if I go to his Facebook and his Instagram, it's just gonna be the same thing.
It's gonna be the same thing. And I try to separate the two. Exactly, because my Snapchat has a completely different audience than my Instagram, which has probably a very similar, but not, I would say like 60% of the people who would watch my stuff on Instagram.
Do people watch Snapchat more?
Yes.
Snapchat's
actually, you know
bigger.
What? You know what's surprising?
I have a Snapchat, but I don't utilize it.
Are you talking like stories? My Facebook story is.
Is it easier to connect
with
more people, or like what is?
I just have more followers and more friends, I guess, on Facebook. But I have like twice as many views on my Facebook stories as I have on my Instagram. And I probably have twice as many views on my Instagram, if not 3 times as many, as my Snapchat. But nobody on my Snapchat follows me on Instagram.
Really?
There might be like 10 people. And I have hundreds of followers on Snapchat.
How do you connect with people on Snapchat?
I don't know. I don't know a Snapchat platform. People just add me. They just, they have my phone number. They just add me. And I get a couple a week, nothing crazy. But I'm not a Snapchat guy. I'm like an Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, I'm more Instagram and Facebook myself.
Yeah.
But
and people,
it is a good outlet.
People have been talking about how Instagram's the way to go and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, I get better engagement now. This is what's been my issue. And I'm not like a social media guy. My problem has been that for a time, I was getting way better engagement on Instagram than Facebook for both my stories and my posts. And it's completely flipped. Now I get on my Facebook stories, I get hundreds of people who watch my shit versus 100 who watch my shit on Instagram. Whereas before it was I'd get 10, 15, 20 on Facebook, and I'd get 100, 120 on Instagram, and I'm not big, I'm not big, I'm not fucking famous by any means, but I don't push it, right? But out of the blue, it went from maybe 120, 150 on my Instagram, and that's max, and I would share it to my Facebook, which is triple that. And Facebook actually pays attention, and none of the people on my Facebook follow me on Instagram.
So
none of them. So they still see the same content, and there's a better engagement on Facebook, which is crazy because people keep telling me, Instagram's the way of the future. You need to go through Instagram. It's well, dude, I post shit on Instagram and nobody fucking likes my shit anymore. Like,
nobody ever sees it. Yeah.
when I was like up and coming and I was doing the stuff that I was doing earlier, and like I was like way more amateur style, like
there was more engagement.
I had
right?
way more engagement. As soon as I hit like the
A
next
certain
level,
yeah, that's
it
how
just
I feel.
cut me off.
Yeah.
It's like Facebook is just, or I mean Instagram has completely cut me off, and then
Like
Facebook
and then
has
you're like right
multiplied.
there. You're like
Yep.
stuck right there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
I feel ya.
and then Facebook multiplied.
And then Facebook is like
fourfold.
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like insane.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I feel ya. But
And I have no explanation for it. I don't work in social media. I don't do social media marketing. I don't do that kind of stuff. But all I can say is that Instagram, it peaked and then it dropped significantly. Like, I was taking photos of bands with like, 30, 40 people in a concert, and I was getting 3 times as many likes as I'm getting now with like Snoop Dogg and like Bone Thugs and Lil Easy and Dr. Dre. Like it doesn't make sense because I use the same hashtags, and I don't know if it's just like people don't have an appreciation for somebody who's like working up to that level like they do for people who are on like a lower level, and they're like, oh yeah, you're working. But as soon as you make it to the next level, maybe people are like, oh, fuck that guy. I don't know how it
he's
works.
made it to that, like, what's next,
Or maybe the algorithm is just not pushing me to the same crowd who still, appreciated it before, but they still appreciate it now. I don't know what it is, and I honestly don't have enough time to invest in that, and I don't care, because either way, I still have people who I can just send to my page and say, this is my work, and you're going to pay me, because Instagram isn't going to pay me $750, $1,000 a month to take photos. They haven't done shit for me. Facebook doesn't do shit for me.
It
The
just
bands
shows
and the people.
what you can do.
Yeah, but I can always post what I can do, and all I have to do is like send people to my pages, and like, all you have to do is take that photo and throw it in like Google search. If I'm fucking lying to you, then I'm lying to you. But guess what? Good luck finding another photo like that, because that's literally me. Like, so you just have to be authentic, I guess. And social media, it doesn't pay. It doesn't really matter. I've had people come up to me and they're like, oh, I've got like 15,000 followers, bro. I got like 15,000 or like 20,000 or 100,000 followers.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, you got like 80 fucking likes and you have like 80,000 followers. So you have like a 0.001% or a 0.01% engagement. Okay, well, obviously your followers don't know who the fuck you are, and they're being bought. As long as you hit like a 10% engagement rate, you're hitting good numbers. Like, if you hit 10%, it means that like you're doing okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I feel. If you hit 10 to 15%, even if you hit 8%, when you climb up to those higher numbers, a lot of times people just want to be associated with you. When you hit higher numbers. But if you're pushing like content and you think you're that great, you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to be boisterous about the work that you do. You just do what you do, man, because people are going to follow you. People are going to appreciate what you do, and people are going to buy into your brand because they want to be supportive and they want to be a part of your success. But I have people all the time, they come up, especially like musicians and stuff, and they'll be like, oh, we got like, so many thousand followers. And then I go to their page and I like follow them and stuff like that. And then they unfollow me right away, right? To like make sure that they get their numbers up. But ridiculous. Anybody who's like, savvy with that will just download an unfollow app for people who do that. And
I don't have time for that.
yeah, and a lot of times, like, I'll go to their page. I'm like, oh, you have 30,000 followers, but you have like 26 likes on like the last 10 photos that you have. Okay, sorry, bro, you're fake as fuck. Like, I don't have time for you. Like
anybody can buy that.
Yeah, I'm gonna double up. Yeah, I'm gonna double up. You want photos? Poof, dude, it's gonna cost you $900 for those photos. I'll double up on that shit. You can't pay me? If you have 300,000 followers and you can't pay me $900 for photos, get the fuck out of here, man. If you have that many followers, you should be able to pay me. Like, if you're that fucking famous and that cool and you can't fucking pay me, find another fucking photographer. Find somebody else. Go on to another podcast. Find another studio who's going to host you, and they're going to put their time towards promoting you. Good luck, man, because like there's no other place that I know of that's not going to charge you for what I can provide. And you know, I put myself in a position to where I can call people out, but not a lot of people can, and a lot of people get taken advantage of, you know, and that's totally fine. Sheep will be sheep, man, and wolves will be wolves.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get eaten alive.
I'm a wolf. Well, I don't know. I don't want to consider myself a sheep because like I don't like back down. But then I'm
not a sheep and I'm not a wolf.
I like to herd people.
I'm a herd. Like I'm like I'm the herder. I'm the what do you call it? The dude with the stick.
Oh, the what do you call it?
Herdsman. What do you call it? I don't know. I'm totally blank right now.
Yeah, but shepherd.
The shepherd. Yeah. That's You're what I am. I'm a shepherd. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't really see myself being like a wolf because like I'm not really out there to like, you know, be all about me and like, you know.
Exactly.
Who gives a shit about everybody else, like type thing.
But know where you're at, right? Yeah, and know where you stand, and like appreciate other people. I've had bands; they contact me all the time. They're like, "Hey, we got a new single come out, and we want to like promote our new single, and we want to promote our new CD. Like, we'll come on. Like, we'd love to come on your show." And I'm like, "Okay, well, so you're asking me to promote all your shit, and." You're asking me for like hours, like this episode.
This is hours. Be honest, this turned into hours. Yes.
This is Channel 99. But like to be honest with you, when you're doing like even a 2-hour episode, I have to export it, and then I have to edit it, and then I have to export the edit, and then I have to upload it. And then I have to do all kinds of shit. This is like 10 hours of fucking work, right? Yeah. You know, and people don't.
I feel you. Yes.
People don't understand that, right? And then they hit me up and they expect me to do it, and then
doing stuff like this, yes, it takes time.
Yeah, totally. But and I've had people who have hit me up who are like, "Oh, we want to promote our stuff. We want to promote our band. We want to promote like our new single and our new like CD. Blah blah blah." Doesn't matter. But when they approach me and they want free work and then they ask me, well, what's compensation? I've thrown out like $50. I'm like, oh, just throw me $50. You get free drinks, like whatever you want. Like I'll hook you guys up. You guys are gonna have a great time. Like I've got all the equipment, whatever. Don't worry about it. Like I'll take care of you guys. They ghost me. And I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, A, you just wasted my fucking time with me having to respond to you on an email, which I could have responded to somebody else who's going to fucking pay me for my time. And there's so many other things that I could have done within that amount of time that would have been worth my while and could have improved my life in general, like me personally. And they just want a free ride, like charity, like we talked about before. And I totally get it, but at the same time, when you have like 5 dudes in a band, that's like $12.50 between 4 of them. $10 between, I'm sorry, $12.50 between 5 of them. Wait, yeah. And then $10 between 5 of them, right? And they get free drinks. Like I'll go out, I'll run to the liquor store, and I'll like spend like $80, like grabbing drinks that they want, taking care of them. So they're on top already. But then they'll either ghost me or they'll hit me up and be like, all right, we'll let you know. It's like, all right, well, good luck promoting it through any other venue. Because you're going to spend $40 an hour through any other venue, or you can go to the Hive and you have to find somebody who's going to host you for a goddamn podcast. You know, that's how I feel. That's business. That's real life. And it's almost a slap in the face for people like that. You, on the other hand, are a different, you're a completely different, you're a different matter. And the reason I say that is because I've followed you, I've known you, and I didn't feel like you were trying to take advantage of my time or anything like that. Like, you were very genuine. You didn't ask me specifically to like do stuff and blah blah blah. You offered to do an acoustic session, like
for fun, for the experience.
Yeah, totally.
Grow.
Yeah, and you helped to like diversify the offerings that I have on Channel 99. So that's the reason why I didn't hit you back with, all right, cool, well, pay me for my time. Mostly just because you came off very professional and you came off very authentic, and
Aww.
I appreciated the way that you approached the situation. But but some of the bands, some of the people locally
approached you a lot different.
Yeah, they just come off like, hey, like, we're so-and-so, you should have us on your show. Oh, no. I'm so-and-so. You can be on my show, but you also have to recognize that I've put together what I have here.
I think this is awesome.
And
like, I'm so
thank you.
happy to be here. This is really cool. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time. I've been, I don't know, waiting to be ready for the next step in like a new experience, and podcasts are awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's people like you who make me continue to do what I do, or allow me to continue what I do. But once you make it to like, once you kind of realize what the offerings you have and like the things that you can do, it's nice to be appreciated, and you're very appreciative. Ever since you stepped in my door, you've been very good, you've been very nice, you've been thankful, and very grateful for the accommodation. And
I got a reply back.
You already did?
From you. Like, when I messaged you, it's like, maybe he'll reply back, maybe not, It's just, I knew you would.
Well, you're a local artist.
I am a local artist, and you've been out there, and I've seen you with your camera and stuff, and just thought it would be fun and cool to do this.
Yeah. Well, I
and
appreciate
to actually meet
that.
you and hang out with you. Like, you're exactly how I thought you would be. Like, super, like, high energy, fun.
Talk a lot. Bitch a
and
lot.
I can talk a lot too if you get me
bitch
going.
A lot. I bitch a lot. But I've been taken advantage of a lot, so I have a lot to fucking bitch about. But it's really nice to meet somebody like you who, like I said, you're totally worth my time.
Yay.
Yeah, totally. And I would hope that I'm worth your time.
Definitely.
More so worth your time than my time, only because I believe you probably spent more working on your craft and perfecting yourself to be able to step on stage. I don't get on stage. This is my stage. Mm-hmm. And I don't get on stage, and I don't perform in front of people directly. And for me to have somebody like you and the other artists that I've had on my show who I have asked to be on my show, you individuals, you artists, have completely changed the way that I perceive life in general. I've become a lot more free living, and by that I mean like free spirited. I live by the moment. I appreciate the things that I have, because the next day everything could be gone.
Yeah. I'm very much like that, like living in the moment.
Yes.
It's important.
You know, you set goals and you want to like achieve goals, and you look forward to prosperity and your future, and you look forward to the things that you're doing or you're going to do later on in life, and you set yourself up for it. But at the same time, I have the moment right now. I have that moment as far as where you're at and what you have achieved and what you're going to achieve. And for me, that's important because nobody else can steal this moment from me. Just like photos, you know, like I take a photo and I capture a memory. And this is the exact same thing. This is why I do what I do, is because I'm able to capture people in their natural element, and I'm able to provide them with some type of a platform. And I have people like you who are extremely passionate about what you do. Yeah, and you're a very beautiful person in general. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Like, you create wonderful music, and it comes from the heart, and you do work extremely hard at what you do, whether it's with a paintbrush or a guitar or working with others, and you're very personable, you're very approachable, and you're very professional. And I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate that. Yeah, of course. And I appreciate that you contacted me.
Yours.
Thank you. And I think that it's important that the local community, let alone the global community, because the local community doesn't really care about Channel 99, but the global community and everybody outside of Idaho, I hope that you make sure that you subscribe to everything that Dee Dee has. Make sure that you go to Dee Dee.
That'sme.com.
That'sme.com.
Dee Dee Chavez Facebook art page.
And then Dee Dee That's Me on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yeah.
And make sure you subscribe to her, because this girl is super authentic. She's awesome. She's somebody who is about to jam out on an unplugged session.
Yes.
So make sure you subscribe. Give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
Pass the episode along.
Give us good vibes.
And have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.